Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today and I want to talk a little bit about wine, matching wine with food, and also a little information about the tools, the glasses, how to open a bottle of wine, and those are some of the things that I'm going to talk about. Let's start with the glasses. You probably ask yourself why there is so many different kind of glasses out there. Well, there is a purpose for that. There is a small, there is large, there is some that are wider, there are some that are narrow. For champagne, for example, usually they use something called a flute. And it's because people like to smell the wine. For red wine, like Burgundy, this is not a Burgundy glass, but it's kind of similar. They call it smellers. So you pour the wine, and we're going to demonstrate first before how to open properly the wine. Usually you cut through this part here, and you use something similar like this, like a cork opener, and you cut through there, and then you remove that part, and then you grab it like this, and you're gonna screw that in the cork, turn it around, and basically pull it open. Many of you probably have done this in the past. You pour the wine, make sure it doesn't, you don't heat the glass because you can break it. It's very delicate. So you just pour the wine, and then when you finish, you twist the bottle so you don't get drops all over the table. Then some people will come, and this is the proper way of handling a glass. You will grab it by the stem. This is the improper way of handling a glass because you will leave all your finger marks in the glass. So we're gonna pick it up the proper way, and this is the proper way. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to handle the glasses, and sometimes I share with my wife, and then I see people around, and I notice, the way they're handling the glass. You'll know if they are good wine drinkers or they haven't done it in the past. But this will be the proper way of handling the glass. They also tend to shake the glass and smell it. That's how you develop basically the smell, by shaking the glass this way. I will talk a little more about the intensity of wines. As you can see, I have different bottles here. We're going to start from the bottom to basically the top. Here we have, all these wines that I'm showing today are available in our market. This is a Sauvignon Blanc. It's a very light white wine. It's usually served, and you can have it with seafood, white fish, shrimp. For example, I know today we have shrimp in the menu, shrimp scampi. This will be kind of like a perfect match. It's very acid, and the shrimp will be very acid. We put lemon in there, and it's not it doesn't overpower the dish. Then we have, next to that, we have the Chardonnay. The difference between these two is the intensity. One will be lighter in color, which is the Sauvignon Blanc, and the other one, the Chardonnay, is a little more in the yellowish side. So it's a little more deeper in color and a little stronger in flavor. Okay, the Chardonnay will go well with chicken, any kind of chicken. It also will depend on what kind of sauce you put in the chicken. Okay, but it's most of the dishes, turkey, chicken, A live fish with a kind of like a heavy sauce will go well with that too. And then we'll move into the crossovers, I call it. We have this rosé. We have it in the mini mart. It's from California, and it's a mix between a white wine and a red wine. We also have a Pinot Noir. The Pinot Noir is kind of like the bottom of the reds, very light in intensity, but it will go well. This will go well also with chicken or even with a salmon, a tuna. It will go with a chicken with like a little more like heavy sauce, like a chicken a la king, for example, that we put a little more cream in there. It will go well. These two wines right here, the rosé and the Pinot Noir. Then you go into a little more intense flavors. I have a Malbec here, which is from Argentina, and a Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, this will be considered to be like a strong wines. So this is definitely good with lamb, red meat, and it's pretty heavy, so it will match perfectly. So you don't want to kind of like have a meal and kind of like have an imbalance in the wine, because it will not taste very good. For example, you will not want it to have like a red meat, for example, with a very light wine like the Sauvignon Blanc. Okay, you want to kind of like match those intensities, and that's a very simple way to describe it. So you go from very light to medium wines to more strong wines, and then we'll go into the last part, which is like more like I will say like a dessert wine. The difference in all these wines is that the grapes, in this case in here, are basically picked a little earlier, so the acidity is very pronounced. And then the wines, the dessert wines, basically the grapes are overripe and they are picked at the end, so the flavor concentrates and it becomes very ripe. So there you go. That's why you have a little more like sweet wines in there. So they also are called late harvest. So they stay a little longer in the vine, and that's why you get that flavor. So you go from acid, medium, strong, and late harvest wines. So that's kind of like a brief explanations about the wines. I have a display here with some cheese and some grapes, strawberries, some crackers that you also wanted to enjoy with. A lot of the people like to match the wines with this here. You know, it's a good snack. Also want to talk about the dishes, for example, for today. Today we have the shrimp scampi and the barbecue pork. I will easily pick the low intense wines here or the medium crossovers. You know, this will be more for the pork, the medium wines like Pinot Noir and Rosé, and this too will go well with the scampi. Okay. For tomorrow, we have a chicken piccata and a beef taco salad. I will also pick the medium ones right here. They will go well with the taco and the piccata. And we will never go wrong if you pick like a Chardonnay for the chicken, like I said. On Sunday, we have a chicken breast fricassee and a beef tenderloin. Beef tenderloin, red with red, will go well with either of these two here. This is Malbec that we have on site in the mini mart, and Cabernet Sauvignon. We also carry a Merlot in the mini mart that is really good and it will match well with the beef tenderloin. On Monday, we have the tilapia papillote and the chicken cacciatore. We also go well with the Chardonnay and the medium wines. And then I can go on and on and on this. Like I said, it's a very simple match here. You basically match white meat with white wines, and then red meat with red wines. If you want to go a little more deeper into that, that's when you go into medium wines, depending on the sauce, and then you will go there and match it. Another simple thing that you can also do is you can go in the back of the wine bottle and just kind of like read the information in the back. Sometimes they tell you a little bit about some dishes that you can also match. I also want to give you a demo on how to open a champagne bottle. I know we'll have some available next week, and we'll talk a little more about that. A champagne bottle usually pops up because of the gas. I'm gonna remove this from here, and usually you will remove this kind of like aluminum from the top. And what I do is I get like a napkin and I cover the bottle before I open it. So you remove the aluminum from there, you remove the little wire that is in there, and once you have control of the cork, you cover it up with the napkin, and then you hold it like this. You hold it like this, and then you're gonna proceed to open it. So when it pops off, it's not gonna pop up all over the place. It's gonna pop up actually in the napkin. So I seen and I heard stories also about accidents that happen. People tend sometimes to open it like this or open it like that, and then the cork will be flying all over the place and will hit somebody there. So just to have a little more control, like I said, you cover it up with the napkin, and then you'll twist it and twist it and twist it until it pops off. But it's not going anywhere. It's gonna stay right here, okay? So, well, that's some of the info that I wanted to share with you. And in my next video, I will definitely talk a little more about some of the drinks. I would love to do a demo of mimosa one of these days, and some other drinks. So just stay tuned. I also want to thank everybody, all the residents, for being patient, and we'll go through this. We're doing our best here, and we're trying to keep you safe. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.